Hey, my babies. So this is Amanda with Soul Therapy Tarot. I wanted to get on here and share my experience working with Lilith Santa Morte and Dantalion doing sex magic. Okay, so I will tell you this. I went and purchased a book online because I could not find it in any of the metaphysical shops. And it was a book that was recommended by a guy I listened to on YouTube under Primordial Chaos. Excellent teacher, very, very knowledgeable, and very well versed and experienced, okay, in every area. So whatever area it is you're looking for, from Ifa or Santeria or the Goetia or the left-hand path, masonry, like he's done it all, understands it all. He doesn't know all because, I mean, hey, we just don't, any of us. But he is very knowledgeable. But anyway, he recommended a book when I was watching one of his videos about Lilith, because Lilith is my goddess. So when I first started on this path, I didn't know anyone who was on the left-hand path, and Lilith was the one that was coming to me. So I happened to run across him. I'm not going to say happened. I was guided to him, y'all. I was. But he was doing a video on Lilith, and he recommended this book by Edgar Cavall. Okay, so it's a excellent book, and what it is it is a 30-day ritual using Lilith and Nayuma, and it's for sex magic. Okay, so the name of the book is The Mysteries of Lunar Magic and Sacred Sexuality. Okay, so you will start this ritual on a waxing moon, and every week this ritual will be repeated during the moon phase. Okay, so it takes a 28-day, I say 30, it's actually 28 days. And each week you do this ritual. Now, so for 30 days, since this was for sex magic, y'all, like, I did not have sex, and the only time, excuse me, y'all, the only time I masturbated was during the ritual, okay, because that is what you have to do, along with some other things. But yeah, the 28-day ritual was very eye-opening. He also sells CDs to go with the book, because you do have to do meditation, and he guides you through the meditation. Now, if you have the CD, it's a lot easier to listen to the CD while you are meditating, instead of reading what you need to do during the meditation and trying to remember it. And so if you have the ability to purchase the CDs also, because they are sold separate, do so, because it will help out. As we all know, Lilith is known for her sexuality, but I will say this: there is a lot of misinformed, misguided information on the internet, especially YouTube, about Lilith. Yes, she is about sexuality. She is about the power of sexuality, okay? But Lilith is so much more than just that. She is about self-love. She is about confidence. She is about moving up the corporate ladder if that is what you wish. Like, Lilith is multifaceted. Faceted? Is that how you say that? um, but it's many areas besides the sexuality. That is what she is best known for. So that's what a lot of people use her for. Um, but if that is the only way that you know Lilith, then I highly recommend that you get to know her deeper and really connect with the other aspect of her. Okay. Um, I I want to bring this experience in because even though I have been working with Lilith for almost 3 years now, um, even though I've always had that connection, even after I did this ritual, y'all, like I felt a stronger connection, but I still didn't feel like it was as strong as I needed it to be. So, with that being said, I was guided to Santa Morte. Didn't understand why at the time, but I'm just going to tell you, okay? So, as we all know, Santa Morte is the mother of all saints and sinners, okay? Um, she has many different statues with many different color robes, and each robe represents a different aspect of her, okay? When I went to go look for a statue of Santa Morte, um, like I said, I'd already done the ritual a month prior to this. Okay, um, I was headed to one of my favorite shops, and like I just didn't feel easy about it, so I turned around and I went home. The next day, of course, I still want my statue, and it is an hour drive, and so I didn't feel no type of way about it that day. So I started down the road once again, and once again get halfway down the road and I feel uneasy again. So I was like, you know what? This other shop that I haven't been to in a while because they don't have, just they're a newer shop and the selection isn't quite as much as the other store that I usually go to. But I was like, you know what? I'm going to go down here to this store. Maybe, they have a statue. So I get down there, and they only have one statue of Santa Morte, and that is the one with the red robe. Now, with that being said, I picked her up and put her back down 3 times because I could not remember what the red robe represented. So I was a little uneasy about getting her, okay? But I went and I picked up a book about Santa Morte without even looking at the book. Um, I put the book on the counter. I got the statue. I brought them home, and that's when I opened the book. And I happened to look at the red color robe because I needed to know exactly what altar I needed to put her on, even though most recommend that you put her with your ancestors, okay? Depending on what it is that um, you are desiring or wanting her to help you with. Because she works very closely with the dead. I mean, she's the mother of death. Okay, so she works very closely with your ancestors. Well, I looked up the colors, and just so happened, like the color red, her red robe is like a crimson color, represented sex magic. Yeah. Okay. So I already knew that I had been guided to her. Like I got the biggest smile on my face because I knew that I had been guided to her. I knew that I had been guided to that shop to get that statue at that point. Okay. So I did. I put her on the altar with Lilith. Um, and here is my experience, my loves. Okay. So for most of my life, well, since I've been having sex, I will tell you this. Um, I have always, and I'm not trying to brag. I mean, I'm no Miss America or anything like that, but I'm far from ugly. Don't get it twisted. Okay. But anyway, um, I've always, if I seen somebody I wanted, I've always got them. Always. Always. Okay, and I remember thinking a few years back, I was like, I always get who I want, if it's nothing but sex, I always get who I want. Oh, I wasn't on my path, I wasn't on my journey, I didn't know why, so I dismissed it. Um, but once I started my path with Lilith and learning more about sex magic, I understood why I did, and know now that it has always been a power of mine. Okay, so for the past couple of months, I have been tweaking and working, making it more powerful and come to the forefront more. Okay, so this is my experience. I put my statue on my altar with Lilith. I also brought in Dantalion because I also work with Dantalion. I have another video about him. Um, but Dantalion deals with your thoughts, it, in your mind, your happiness. He deals with a lot of it. Awesome deity to work with. Excuse me. Okay, so my experience. New moon. um, I wanted to try out the Santa Morte, Lilith, and Dantalion. I wanted to try this out because, I mean, that's how we find out. That's how we experience things, right? That's how we know if it works or not. So, I had a friend of mine, come over, whatever. um, and the whole time that we were having sex, I am out loud, but under my breath, calling upon Santa Morte, Lilith, and Dantalion. Now, I had already, on a piece of paper, drew the sigils out for each one and wrote what I desired on the back of each one and put my candles on top of that, okay? Lit my incense. Anyway, long story short, we started having sex, and the whole time up under my breath, I'm calling upon Santa Morte, Lilith, and Dantalion. Whew, my loves, when I tell you the power, the connection, the just overall behind it, I want to blush a little bit now thinking about it. Oh. Mm. Mm. Okay. I will say this. My friend, he does not have a problem with the way I believe, but he doesn't necessarily believe that way. So I can only imagine how it would be to have somebody else on my level doing this, who honestly is trying to please me and not being selfish, because so many men are selfish sexually, like they are. You have a few who are not. So y'all men, do not get mad at me because I know that y'all do exist. Okay. But if you have a partner who is truly on the same level with you and they are truly trying to manifest what it is they desire and they truly want you to manifest what it is that you desire, then they are going to do everything that they can possibly think of to please you and make sure that you have an orgasm. Okay? It's all about the orgasm, my loves. Even though you can bring forth sex magic without an orgasm, it will go through quicker if you have one, from my experience. Okay. Okay. Yeah, so my loves, I just wanted to give my experience of that. I had said after I'd done the ritual that I would get on here and tell everyone my experience. So that is what I'm doing. For anyone who is interested in doing sex magic, I highly, highly recommend. Of course, Lilith is going to be your go-to. That is who you need to make your first connection with. The second connection, I would say Santa Morte and Dantalion. Okay, Santa Morte, she is the saint of all. Well, she's the mother of all saints and sinners. Put it that way. The mother of death. She accepts anyone. But she doesn't like to be crossed either. But as you get to know these deities, you will figure out their quirks, and they will let you know. Okay. When I first started on the left-hand path, I didn't know anyone on that path. Everybody I kept coming across were mainly, I stay in the deep south, so everyone I kept coming across were mainly Wiccans. And of course, there's nothing wrong with that. It's just, I tend to go a little darker, okay? Because I believe, I know that you have to first understand the dark in order to appreciate the light, okay? So, with that being said, I found out about the book by Edgar Kerval by listening to a podcast. His name is Primordial Chaos. He is very well educated, very well versed, and knows a lot about every path. Does he know everything? No. None of us do, okay? But he knows a lot more than 90% of us, I would probably say, okay? I've learned a lot from him. So, yeah, if you're looking to work on the left-hand path, I would definitely recommend him also. Like I said, don't just use Lilith for sex magic, my loves. She's so much more than that. But this was a ritual designed specifically for sex magic to make you more powerful. And I just wanted to let you know my experience personally with it. It's the best experience that I have had in my 45 years of living, honestly. Okay, so with that being said, I hope that y'all work with it and work with using sex magic, because I will tell you this, I noticed the very next day my manifestations starting to come together. Okay, I've literally seen them start to unfold. They are not quite here yet, but I am steadily seeing them unfold. I love you, and I hope that everything is well, and blessed be, my loves.